Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday night episode of Gaming After Dark. I'm your host, Mr. Boom Boom Kaboom. It's Newf, Nukem in the room. We got another great show coming to you this week. And my God, I can't believe it's been one full week since the April Fool's episode. And I think for the most part, we pulled that off pretty damn well, considering a lot of people bought into it hook, line, and sinker. I do apologize. I know if we pissed a few people off in the way, but that wasn't the intention. We hope that you can sit back and laugh about it now, as we've certainly had a good laugh at it. And we're just happy that the show continues on. The panel's not going anywhere. There's no beefs among any of us. We're just having a good time chatting games. And we're going to talk about a couple of great games tonight. And most importantly, we're going to talk about the new Nintendo Switch 2 launch, which Nintendo put out the Direct last week and talked about, obviously, the tech, talked about the pricing, talked about the launch lineup, and a whole bunch of other things. I'm going to see how the panel feels about it, and, of course, the chat. Speaking of the chat, let's check in real quick. We got some amazing people with us tonight, including Dre Venero, Talis Ray. We got Disney Delta is in the house. Weston is here. Hockey Fan is in the house. We're already off to a great start tonight. Thank you for your love and support. Hit that like button. Share this out. Tell all your friends and bring a crew in. That would be awesome. But anyway, let's bring in the panel who is ready to rock and roll. Starting with the man in shades. We got Perry, a.k.a. the GameComplainers.
What is going on, everybody? How's everyone doing this week? Here to rock and roll tonight.
We are here to rock and roll. Speaking of rocking and rolling, a man who actually is part of a band, ProtoFoxy, brings the beats to the stage.
Or at least I pretend to anyway. What up, everybody? It's Tuesday night. Where's your mom at? You know what time it is? It's Gaming After Dark. Let's get it on, man.
Hide your moms. It sounds like ProtoFoxy's been, getting some doggy style in.
Yep. Get ready for the panty raids.
Speaking of a guy who likes to raid panties, it's your wicked hat is in the house.
What's up, boys? What's up, chat? I'm feeling good tonight, man. I did something good over the weekend. I went to the local community center. The local senior center, and I played PBA.
Uh-oh.
Man, and it was a blast.
What'd you play?
Is that how good the game is? It just totally put him on mute.
Oh, what? PBA bowling.
There you go.
Peanut butter and assholes. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
The dog's favorite midnight treat.
Oh, man.
Yummy.
Speaking of the old dog, brings the bark and the bite. Sir X-Man is in the building.
Yeah, building up while we're playing Pro Bowling 2021 PBA. And man, we were gaining XP and gaining new balls for y'all. Let's go.
New balls. All right. Sir X-Man got the
new balls. Put in the wife's purse, yeah.
All right, let's get right into it, guys. Obviously, let's again shout out to the chat. Pink Pickles is in the building. What's going on, girl? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right, guys. I probably don't even have to ask at this point, but what has everybody been playing since last week? We'll start with Perry.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space on the Xbox.
There you go. You're wicked hot. What have you been into? Obviously, PBA.
Oh, man. PBA bowling, whooping Sir X-Man's ass in that one.
Yeah, until the last frame when I woke up on your ass and said, all right, I let the boy learn enough. Now it's time to put it in his ass.
Sir X-Man hasn't taken his medicine. He's clearly delusional.
Whatever.
I've been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. Yes. And I've just started playing South of Midnight, dude. Oh, man, that is a vibe. What a vibe.
Yeah, well, I'm glad a few of you guys have played it because I have not, unfortunately. I haven't even got it downloaded yet, so I want to dive into that. But it looks awesome. We're going to find out what you guys think about it in a bit. ProtoFoxy, what has been on your agenda this past week?
I've been playing Metroid Dread. That's I jumped into it for a little bit and was like, yeah, now I'm hooked in that. So that's been taking up my time.
Nice. Are you kind of like replaying it, or are you still trying to beat it, kind of thing?
Replaying.
Okay.
Once the game franchise drops, something new, obviously with Metroid Prime 4, I'll go back and replay. So, yeah, that's what I end up doing.
Is that a real hard game, Metroid Dread, or like how long does it take to beat it roughly?
Well, I wouldn't say it's hard, but then again, it just depends. It just depends on, I guess, the particular gamer's threshold. I've been playing Metroid since the beginning, so this just fits right in with the rest of them, along like Super Metroid and Fusion and shit.
Right.
But
they have an easy mode. Newf.
They do have an easy mode. Yeah.
If you wanted to try it out, they do. I think there's a demo. I think in the demo you might be able to play the easy mode. So you should definitely try the demo out first on the eShop.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it. I've never tried it. I've wanted to, but I've never.
That way you can get a vibe for if you're feeling it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of like the 2D Metroid stuff, like Super Metroid and Fusion and Zero Mission and shit like that.
Yes.
Yeah, they're good games. I really like the Prime series. Those things are pretty cool.
Oh, hell
Sir X-Man, what have you been playing, sir? Obviously some PBA and getting your butt kicked by your wicked hot, it sounds like.
Battlefield? Yeah, right. He's smoking crack. But
Battlefield, yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing Battlefield. I got a lot of work to do in that game. There's some stuff I need to do. And
that new game mode is no joke. That War Machine or whatever, like where you're playing the bots.
Oh,
holy
that
fuck.
shit is hard.
My God, Sir X-Man man gave me very little detail. He's like, yeah, just do this.
It's like an endless fucking army of robots coming at you, man. It's like you gotta fucking know what you're doing.
Oh man, that's a hard mode. And then I was playing South of Midnight today, and I was like, I almost didn't want to make the show because that game is so addictive.
Let's get back to it real quick, but yeah, we're going to talk about that. Obviously, I can't wait to get your opinion, and I'll probably get yours first, Sir X-Man. But let's get right into it, guys. Again, thank you so much for being here. This is episode 25, Gaming After Dark. Anybody in the chat, whatever you've been playing, let us know. It's good to see everybody here already. Let's get right into topic number one. It's a big topic. It's been one of the biggest of the year so far. It's caused a lot of stir. You know, there's no question about it. Nintendo has been on a roll. I think they're largely going to carry that over into, the Switch 2 launch. But the big thing that, the funniest part, too, is while they did the unveil, was the one thing that they actually didn't release during the actual Direct itself was the price. They kind of let it slip after the show was kind of over. And when it did, I don't know how you guys feel about it south of the border, but up here in Canada, holy mother of diner, $630 for the base unit, and then $699.99 for the game, for the machine with Mario Kart World. So myself and a bunch of friends were like, that's a little steeper than we thought. But with saying this, and I said this to Perry too, like, it's all in perspective, right? Because while it is pricey, you got to remember, like, a lot of us have paid far more for other things. For example, like, I paid almost $900 for the PSVR 2, which is something that I think I'd probably use a lot less than the Switch 2. So, it comes down to, like, how much you think you're going to play it. Do you feel that the games they're going to bring out are worth it? And then we're going to talk about the game pricing as well. So, yeah, a lot of stuff went down, but we're going to talk about the show itself, some of the games they showed off with it. Then we'll kind of get right into the pricing model itself and how you guys feel about it. And is it sustainable or workable for Nintendo? Like, who's going to buy this out of the gate? Is this going to be a hardcore item for the first little while and maybe Nintendo reevaluates the pricing this time? Because they didn't drop the price of the Switches, which makes me a little bit concerned that they're not going to budge at all on Switch 2 either. So we'll get right into that. So anyway, guys, to everybody in the chat, we've got Talos Ray. Cougar Man is in the building. What's going on, brother? Good to see you here as well. Let's get down to it. Let's start with, we will talk about South of Midnight after we get past this, but let's start in on Nintendo. I will start with Perry, who is one of the biggest Nintendo fans, and I'm pretty sure he's already got his pre-order or he's waiting to get one pre-order. We know who's going to have it, regardless if it's $1,000 or $500. So let's start with Perry. Perry, what was your takeaway for the whole Nintendo thing? What stood out to you? And I want to ask you about the online as well, because Nintendo looks like they've at least taken a pretty big step forward in that aspect. with actually being able to invite your friends now and having the cameras going, which I think is going to be awesome now for Nintendo Game Days. If we have game days together, that's going to be awesome. Now we won't have to use Xbox Live party chats and all that sort of shit to play. So anyway, give us.
Hey, sorry guys, I got to step away for a minute, but I'll be back. Sorry about that,
right,
Perry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Catch you in a bit.
That's cool.
Gotcha.
Go drop a deuce. We know that's where you're going.
I ain't got to drop no damn deuce.
Kerplunk.
Oh man.
Before he goes to the wash, you just hear bloop.
Yeah.
Nah, that's what wicked bowling balls sound like when they go in the gutter.
Damn. Shots fired.
It's
Oh,
okay.
man.
It's all right.
Hey, what's going on, Frank? Good to see you, brother.
Right.
Glad you're here in the chat this week. Hopefully we'll see Anthony and Fred too. Those guys definitely bought it hook, line, and sinker, and it felt bad for those guys specifically. So Perry had to play along that whole week with that shit. So
Yeah, that was
Perry had some
navigating
epic fucking graphics up on the screen too with me and Phil Spencer. So
Those are beautiful.
I won't be able to live those down. Just need a banana hammock one now.
They're on the internet now.
Hey man, if
But
Bronco
anyway,
make it-
Perry, what's your take on Nintendo Switch, man? The good, the bad, the ugly.
I think they had a really good showing. I think the show was really good. That shows how you launch a machine. However, after the show, because they purposely didn't tell us the price, and I was like,
Yes.
what's that all about? And then they let Wario 64 start to trickle out the pricing and then all the other information. And we're like, bro, this is like the worst launch in the history of Nintendo. Like, the show was good. And then you had, it's like the Xbox thing. They step on a rake after they say something good.
Mhm.
Nintendo stepped on the rake like instantly. Xbox gave it a couple days.
Yeah,
Nintendo
they
was
did.
like, nope, right after the show, we're going to step on a rake. I don't mind the pricing of the console. That's what I expected, between $400 and $500.
Right.
The problem is the games. You're going to make the games $80. That now opens the door for Sony. You know, Sony's been dying to charge $100 for games. So Sony's going to start charging. Like, this is just going to open up it's going to cause a ripple effect in the industry. Everyone's going to start charging a ton of money for games. And everyone's like, oh, inflation. Ooh, games in the 90s. It's like, but I'm not in the 90s. I can't get in the DeLorean, Doc Brown. I'm
Do
living
you
today.
think it's possible with the backlash, or do you think it's possible that, say, Nintendo doesn't meet estimated targets of sales when this machine launches? They may potentially try to roll back. I mean, like I said, we know there's a lot of shit now riding on the whole pricing of tariffs and stuff. So that keeps coming up in the conversation. But do you think this possibility, they've kind of put it up there, but they could roll it back potentially?
I think they could possibly roll back the games. I don't think they're going to roll back the hardware. And you know what? I think that would be a good compromise. Maybe drop the games back down to 60. I know a lot of their games right now aren't even $60. They only picked a few of them. What was it? Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was like 70.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've played with that $70 mark on a couple of games, but not all the games. So
Yeah, it sounds like Doug Bowser has stated that their games pricing is going to fluctuate based on the scenario. So based on maybe popularity of a certain game or how many hours are typically put into a said game. That sort of thing, which it could be a possibility, but I still think it's a pretty shitty model to use. And we all know that Nintendo is definitely not
it's the Wild West again.
You know, they're not the ones that spending $300 million to make a game. You know, fucking well they're not. I mean,
no, they are not. They're completely not. Those games, when you rip those games, they're like 6 gigs.
Yeah.
So they're very highly compressed, those games. A lot of people don't realize that. They're like, oh, they need the money. It's like Microsoft when they make Halo. It's like, it's nothing like that. Like, it's probably a quarter of the budget to make a Mario game, or if even. It might even be cheaper than that for them. They're making money like crazy. This is just them being greedy at the end of the day, because they had the pre-order dates set up, and then they canceled the updates. I'm sorry, they canceled the pre-order date because they want to see what's going on with these tariffs and stuff. It's like, wait a minute. This was going to be the price before the tariffs? I thought you priced it this high because of the tariffs.
Well, Nintendo is saying now that the costs, they've already adjusted the costs to basically for the tariffs.
They said that a couple days later, but still, it was like, wow. We thought the price was high because of the tariffs, and now you're admitting, oh no, we were just going to rob you guys anyway. So,
yeah.
And
I got
here's
a
the
question.
thing with
I
the
got a
$80
question.
games. The $80 games, it's different now than it was back in the day. Because back in the day, you had broken games, but they weren't almost every freaking game. Now you have games coming out that are broken. They're coming out broken at 50 and 60. You're going to release broken games at $80? Dude, I don't know. I mean, just not a good look, man. They need to make some laws or something against this stuff.
What
like a
is your
30-day
question,
return
Mr.
policy.
Why
If you
don't
buy a
put your
game
hands
day
like
one,
that?
if you buy a
Mario
game day one
Kart-
and it's broken, you can return it within 30 days. Then the developers they'll make sure they get on their ass and not make a broken game.
Yeah. Is
That's what I would
Mario Kart the only $80 game that we know of so far? Or is there another one?
Mario Kart, and I believe
I thought the Donkey Kong
I
one
think-
was 70, but I couldn't
yeah,
remember if
Donkey
there was
Kong is
another
70,
one.
and I think Final Fantasy might be 80.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
Just say for just the purpose of right now that Final Fantasy is 70. Do you think that they would just make the games from their first party they're going to kind of make service based in a sense, almost like the Mario Kart? It's free roam. They're going to add stuff to it probably as it goes through the generation. So you only need one copy. They're not going to make another one. Would they do that with the next Mario Party, and that would be 80, and everything else would be? You kind of see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, well, you got to figure
Just
too.
have an
Mario
idea.
Kart's gonna have DLC, and that's gonna be
That's what I'm
$30
thinking.
packs.
that's
So
what
you're
I'm
gonna
thinking.
pay 90, 100, 110
Yep.
right there.
They can just
and-
get you because they'll keep pumping stuff in.
Right, and Mario Kart 8 had about four packs, even though it was the final version when it came to the Switch. So they still made money there. If Smash Brothers comes out, forget about it. They're gonna make hundreds of dollars on like
Oh
those
my God,
passes and
yeah.
DLC. Forget about it.
Yeah, every update, yeah.
Gotcha.
They're robbing everybody.
I was wondering if they're gonna start making some of them live service in a sense. You know what I mean? Instead of just making like a couple Mario parties like they did, just make one Mario party. And just
No, they're gonna
live
keep
service
making
the
them
hell
because
out
they
of it.
know there were, I think, 4 Mario parties on the Switch or 3 of them
Yeah,
within the span of like 5 years or 6 years.
Hmm.
it's wild.
So they know they're gonna get that money. They're gonna get that money.
Yeah, Mario Kart is a safe bet for Nintendo's money. I mean, that's one of the biggest games that has always sold with their consoles. I mean, it's a no-brainer to pack it in because they're going to give you so many maps or so many tracks again, and then they're going to basically add more with their DLC packs, and then they're going to try to get people that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They know what they're doing. They're not stupid. They're going to give everybody that game if you wish to buy it. You know, you save a couple of bucks by getting it in the bundle, but which probably a lot of people, that's like, if I'm buying the Switch 2, I'm just going to get the bundle with the packed in right off the bat because it's a game I'm going to buy anyway. So,
By the way, the other $80 games are the updated versions of Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild and the Kirby game, which, by the way, are just the Switch 1 games with a code for an update. Now, if you have Switch Online and you already have those games, you get the update for free. But if you don't have Switch Online, those updates are $10.
there you
So
go.
this is all over the place. Like, this is crazy. Like, you have to like have a freaking
Sounds like they're
spreadsheet.
pulling something out of Sony's playbook here.
Oh yeah, hardcore. And Sony's gonna just this now opens the door for Sony to do all this crap all over again and get away with it. It's and third parties, they're gonna be like, well, my game is worth $80, and the game's just clearly they will not be worth 80, and they'll be broken. A lot of these games, not every game, but a lot of games will be, and it's just not a good thing for the consumer. It really isn't. This is the biggest heel turn since John Cena.
What did you think of the launch? And most importantly, what kind of games stuck out to you?
Donkey Kong, Mario
Yeah, Pro.
Kart. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. No, like Perry, go ahead and finish.
yo,
Oh,
finish,
no.
let's see your games.
I just
Yeah, man,
Mario
what
Kart and Donkey
games stood
Kong.
out to you? At least pick 3 that were really impressive.
Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, and Metroid. All right, I'm done.
There you go. How about a third-party perspective? Because I know there was a lot of like remasters or remakes or like the Switch 2 version. Like I saw Hogwarts Legacy is going to come to Switch 2, and what else? Like, obviously, we're seeing Final Fantasy Remake, which is kind of sad in a way. It's going to probably come out on Switch 2 before it hits Xbox, which is weird, but that was there.
Wild.
What else was some of the big ones? I did see that EA Sports has finally committed to bringing, well, they've always brought FC to the Switch, but now they did announce Madden. As for NHL or other franchises, they still haven't mentioned anything. And I talked to one of the devs at EA because I know a guy personally there. And he said as of now, again, they have no plans, but that could change. But Madden is for sure. So,
yeah. Not bad.
Step in the right direction, but I hope they bring their full catalog over to the Switch because that was one of the biggest parts that's always been missing, is especially for us layman hockey guys, right? And it's kind of funny considering that, all their sports games are pretty much made up here in Canada, and yet you don't bring out the most Canadian sport there is. Weird.
What the hell's up with that?
In the words of Rachel Ziegler, weird.
That's weird.
Donkey Kong looks amazing, and it's actually 3D this time, not just a 2D side scroller. So that game looked really good. Metroid Prime is obviously going to be awesome. Probably going to have some upgrades over the original Switch version. I also see they got those games coming from the GameCube for the online, which is cool. I love to play Legend of Zelda Wind Waker again, which is one of my favorite Zelda games of all time. ProtoFoxy, what was your takeaway from it? Your top games? What do you think about the pricing?
Well, let's elephant in the room. Let's start with the pricing. $450 for the base Switch 2, and then the $500 for that with Mario Kart. I mean, I was hoping it would have been a little bit less, considering it's a little bit lesser hardware than what's currently out there. But I guess that's right in line with everybody. The games pricing being all over the roadmap, it's completely nuts. It's like you can't make heads or tails of it. It's like, and then just reading the stuff that Doug Bowser's coming out and saying, like, oh, it's going to be like a case-by-case basis, whatever's going into it, this, that, and the other. It's just bullshit. To me, it's just like, just commit to a price, because we're going to get hit hard in the end anyway. Commit to the pricing. Once game prices went up to $70, everybody lost their shit, but they ended up paying for it anyway. It's going to be the same thing with the 80 and whatever. We already knew that was going to, it was being hinted at and coming anyway. Because everybody's talking about GTA 6 right now, and they're talking about wanting to sling that for $100. So we knew these hikes were coming. Does it suck? Absolutely, but it's an inevitability. And then the fact that some of those games on those game cards, those cartridges, aren't even going to be the full game. It's going to be like the DRM key. That's just bullshit. It's like, to me, it's like you should not be charging that much for digital downloads as opposed to physical. Not that I'm for them, bringing us closer and closer to $100 games physically anyway. It's just, it's bogus. But at the end of the day, Switch 2 has the branding of, it has the Switch branding. And it's just like a lot of people are out there running around saying, oh, well, here's the Wii U coming. And it's like, I don't think it's going to flop that bad. I think it's going to, the console itself, because the price is still a bit more attractive, as compared to like a $500 Series X or a $500 PlayStation. You're getting $50 less, and you still have that hybrid console thing going on. So it's kind of right in line. But I think the game pricing is nuts. And do I think any of the backlash will deter it? In a perfect world, I'd like to think so. I don't think it will. Unfortunately, I think at least for a good long while, they're going to stick to their guns, because they're going to tell you that, okay, well, maybe Mario Kart World is $80-$90, but then we've got Donkey Kong going to be $70 or whatever, just whatever example, right. So they're going to say, well, that game might not be for you.
We see the roadmap from Nintendo, we see this pricing, but now a lot of industry insiders and a lot of us as fans are starting to wonder now, has Nintendo laid the groundwork for all the other companies to go, oh, well, if Nintendo can do it, here we go. The door is now open. Let's jump in and raise the prices across the board. Because we heard, we've already heard the president of Rockstar talk about GTA and how that game could potentially be more expensive. So now does he kind of look at this and go, wow, Nintendo beat us to the punch. We can just, hey, fuck, maybe we'll charge $150 for GTA. Like,
is this not charge $150 for GTA?
I bet if they could, they would. It's Rockstar. But and I think I had said this to you guys in a chat a while ago. I think it was just a big game of chicken. Who's going to blink first? It was Nintendo. Nintendo blinked first.
I would pay for that if they offered the chick on the car and that song as a stand-up, as a standalone, to go with a big, what do you call those things again? Did they give you an extra edition when you buy it?
Oh, like a deluxe edition.
A deluxe edition. You get me that girl on the car with a thong bending over, I'm buying that.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
They have other ways for you to get a girl with a thong though for $150. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, you can go on the internet.
We're talking about gaming, and it says GTA on it. Come on, man.
You can't
tell me
girl a GTA thong.
Y'all can't tell me that collector's edition would not sell.
It probably would.
Oh yeah, probably would.
Hell, a base $100 GTA 6 is probably going to sell because people are nuts. But anywho, price bitching aside, because I could go for hours on price bitching aside. I mean, I have a feeling it'll sell well, it'll do well. What had my interest as far as games went, Mario Kart World, obviously. I'm not a big open world guy to begin with, but an open world Mario Kart seems real interesting. Donkey Kong looked awesome. And then, of course,
Donkey Kong.
And then, just even though Metroid Prime 4 was already announced for Switch 1, to see it up-resed on Switch 2, that looks awesome. So that's got me going.
Nice. Yeah, no, that open world stuff looks really cool. Definitely a lot of fun. It's as if you're playing multiplayer, you and your whole team can drive from checkpoint to checkpoint along the way. It looks pretty cool. Do you see that game mode?
Events too.
That knockout mode looks like that's going to be a blast. Where 99 carts start out racing, and you got to race to checkpoint, and then it eliminates people. That seems like it's going to be awesome.
That looks cool. You know what a lot of that open world stuff reminded me of, actually had me thinking a lot of the old Need for Speed Underground 2, where you're driving around and then you find your races as you're driving. I'm like, all right, that could be a pretty cool concept.
Don't you talk about one of the greatest racing games ever.
I'll talk about it all day long. I pumped about 200 hours into that fucking game.
Oh, dude. we know like that, bro. We know like that game.
Yeah. I loved Underground too.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great game. You're working hot. What's your takeaway and everything? And perhaps you can be the first one here. So we'll take, a little bit of a different perspective. We don't need to beat the same questions over and over again. Say your piece on it. But I want to get your take on specifically now on the online aspect of this whole thing, because that looks like something we've been asking for Nintendo for a while, and I think a lot of us are now super excited to have our first community game day with Switch to get this going. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But what's your takeaway on the whole thing? What games stood out to you, and how do you just feel about all this? Are you lining up day one to get a Switch too?
Ooh, I would love to line up day one to go get a Switch. Maybe I'll be able to pre-order one, but we'll see. We'll see what happens that day when it gets announced. I wasn't too worried about the price of the console to be specific about it. I thought it was reasonably priced. Obviously, the games threw us for a loop. Those $80 games, $70 games. I wasn't thinking that, so they kind of opened the floodgates up. But like you were talking about Newf, you were talking about online. You wanted me to touch on that aspect. And I am glad that they are offering the online game chat. So now we do have a way to communicate when we're all playing online. Here's a question, because I don't feel like it was answered or they weren't really specific on it. is that feature locked to a higher tier on the Nintendo Online? Do you have to have?
It's only
have the lowest one like I do. I only pay the 20 because I don't really play any of the other stuff online. So can I get it with the 20, and then, you know what I mean? Or do I have to get the one with the GameCube one or whatever tier it is above those? Also, if I'm online and say my subscription runs out, can I still talk online with it since I was once a member, kind of like how you can on Xbox and PlayStation? And on top of that, I'd like to know if you're ever going to allow us to connect maybe Discord. So say maybe you just want to chat to your buddies and you're playing Switch that time. So instead of like, grabbing something else, like your laptop, putting earbuds in or something, or grabbing your Xbox, putting your headset on and talking to your friends while you're playing Switch, I think that would be like a pretty cool aspect to add to that. But then again, we don't know because they didn't talk about it at all. And was there anything else new if you said you wanted me to touch on?
Well, the online,
obviously,
what are some of your favorite games that you saw from the show? I think I remember seeing you get really excited for the Donkey Kong.
Ooh, man, I am, if I'm a sucker for any Nintendo games, it's Donkey Kong games and it's Kirby games. So, oh my God, I was like losing my mind when I saw Air Riders 2. I know Frank was because I was losing my shit. The Donkey Kong game, I love that we're getting a 3D one. Like, I haven't played a 3D Donkey Kong since like fucking N64. So it's about damn time. Other than that, Metroid was my like real other one I'm really interested in. We haven't had a Metroid Prime in a while. I'm not the biggest Mario Kart fan. It's more of a game I play with like you guys online or if my friends come over. I don't really pick it up by myself and play. But maybe I will pick it up just because I have the free ride aspect. Like maybe I only got like 20 minutes. I'll do a race and I'll just ride around the city for a little bit.
Send you something in the DM about Battlefield.
Dude, maybe there'll be traffic and you can get like a red shell and just mess up people in traffic. You don't know what this is going to be like, so. But
we'll
that'd
get
be
that
cool.
a little bit later this direction, don't worry.
Oh, sorry, I left my mic on. I'm sorry about that.
No worries, man. But no. It's about basically it. Kirby Air Ride, dude. Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you this as well. Do you think that because of the pricing model, the spec, and everything else, that this just made the competitors look a little more attractive for a change? Before, Nintendo Switch largely was an attractive proposition because it was, it was one of the, up until the Series S, the Nintendo Switch for a large portion of time was the sort of cheapest entry level into like a next gen-ish gaming experience, if you want to call it that. But either which way, like regardless of the power of the spec, when parents in particular are going to a store to buy a console, price is paramount. We've seen this time and time again that consoles sell really good when they either have a price drop or they come in, like I said, well under the $400 price range. The $299 is a pretty sweet spot. Shit kind of moves at that price. And then after that, it starts to get a little bit contentious. And do you also think as well, from a marketing perspective, do you think Nintendo will nail it with this? Because, again, for us, we know what the Switch 2 is. We know what, their messaging is. We know how this works. But for the average person, and this is certainly a great avenue to take from Perry's perspective as a retail businessman, like, are parents going to understand what the fuck is going on here? Like, are they going to realize that this is an upgrade? Or because, it's not even like looking at it, it almost looks the same. Like, the average person's going to look at it and go, well, that's the same thing, isn't it? Like, how many times is a kid going to walk into a store this Christmas and go, I want the Switch 2, Mom? And she goes, but that's the same, isn't it? It looks the same as the one you just bought. And the kid's probably going to be like, yeah, but it's like, you know what I mean? So how do they convey that message? And we saw this happen with the Wii U, how that fucking tanked largely because it had the same name, and people weren't quite understanding that it was a much different system. This is sort of the same thing again, but how do you get that across and make sure that messaging is clear to people, right? So do you think this also makes Game Pass more attractive? Do you think it makes the competitors look a little more appealing this Christmas?
All right. I researched this and I watched that video like about 2.5 times. And I was mostly worried about the online component. So here's what they have. And I'm going to break it down. They have, with the new Switch 2 online, you can have a name for yourself. You don't have the numbers and zeros. You cannot use it on the Switch 1 because it doesn't have the features built inside to do that. As for the cost, I can understand why they did it, because if you think about it, all the power you're getting in the Switch 2 is comparable to a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One, the original. So that's more technology that they put into the Switch 2 in a portable form. You're able to play third-party games. You're able to have, party chat with a camera right next to it if you want to be on the screen with it. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of internet to be used. So it's like you got 2 USBs. The top USB is for the camera and probably also the charge. So if you're using one of them, you can use it. Probably in the base, you can set, there's probably a couple more USBs on the base. So you can set that up. You can run 4K when you connect it to a TV. It might be that 4K they talked about, but it's still better than the what you're gonna get on the regular Switch. So that's more power. The base is where the real power is if you want to play at home. The other part is 1080p portable 60 frames a second. You got a lot of problems with those portables that come out, like the ROG Ally or the other ones, to run 60 frames constantly. Nintendo ain't gonna play. They're gonna run 60 frames constantly if they say they're gonna run 60 frames constantly. You got more power in there, and plus you have online features. My thing is, I want to see how they do when it's cross-play between like a Call of Duty and some other games that are out there that are cross-play. That I want to see. So they've made improvements to justify the price. And you are going to have their premium online for Switch 2 for a year. No charge. No charge. Now, we don't know what the price is going to be that they got set up for the Switch 2 online features, but that's going to be sweet. And I'm sorry, Mario Kart, where you can go everywhere and anywhere with your friends, just like you can in Forza Horizon 5. Come on now, that's a kill shot right there. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying.
Did they announce any upgrade to the Switch online pricing, though? Did they say it was going to cost more?
No, I said there's no pricing. They're just giving it for free right now for the Switch 2 version.
Not that I know of.
Not for the original version.
Yeah, I didn't see them come out and say, well, because they're still going to have their 2 tiers, right? Their Switch Online, and then there's a Switch Online. What is it? The Plus or whatever the hell they have it?
Yeah, the regular one. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Maybe they'll add a third one for Switch 2.
Well, remember the original Switch 1, you had to use a cell phone to do it. This one is full inside the Switch 2. Unlike the Switch 1, where you had to use a cell phone for. So, with more power means you can do more. With more memory means you can do more. You can have a bigger buffer. You can have more RAM to run it. And that's what the Switch 2 offers you.
And we got
all those things.
And we still got to pay for upgrades for our games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
the worst part about it, dude. It kind of does make Game Pass.
What other company does that we know of?
PlayStation.
It runs in something phony.
So it's nothing new. They just probably took some things that Xbox do good and put it in their system, and they do some things where Sony gets extra money out of you. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And then to go off your point about the whole parents being confused at retail. You know, it's funny you mentioned that, and I kind of have a counterpoint to that. And, you know, you brought up the Wii U, which makes sense, and we all know what that debacle was like. But the whole thing is like you can't really use that argument considering that this has got a 2 in its name, the Switch 2. I mean, you could have made that argument with like the PlayStation 2 or the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360. You can make that for every console that has come out. I don't think that's going to be a real big issue. Now, the fact that it looks similar, maybe, but I still think that base price of $450 and then being a Switch 2, little Johnny's going to go to mom and dad and go, it's a Switch 2 and it's less expensive than a PS5. Okay, boom. Then, of course, the sticker shock will set in with the games later, but, you know, you're already bought into it at that point.
Buckle up.
Yep, buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride, honey.
I also think
does Game Pass see a bit more of a boost now with this overall, with the way things are going between Sony and Nintendo? And the question is, will Xbox stand pat with kind of keeping, you know, the pricing at least stable for a little while? Do you think we're going to see an increase on Game Pass? I wouldn't be surprised if we do.
Yeah, Game Pass has been steady increasing before all this shit even happened. I'm sure we'll see another increase real soon, you know, and they'll say something, we're offering more of this, so we got to up another $10 or whatever.
Question, if they absorb Ubisoft in the Game Pass, would you think the price increase, like maybe a few more dollars, be worth it?
Depends
no, not for Ubisoft. And then now, wait a minute.
I say an average of $5 more.
Yeah, 25.
That's fine.
No,
yeah, I knew you'd agree right there.
Well, you throw Assassin's Creed Shadows in there for an extra $5.
It's going to be in there.
Or I was going to say it'd have to be date and date. If not,
wait a minute. Didn't Tencent actually buy out a bunch of the Ubisoft stuff already?
Yeah, that don't mean they can't make a deal with.
Well, I mean that's true.
Because remember, Ubisoft is supposed to be handling all the streaming services for us and PlayStation.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if entirely people move over because games like Nintendo just announced that they're making like the first $80 game this generation. Like, I don't think people just immediately jump over to Game Pass, but like, oh, diggity, like just jump right over. I think it's more or less like you start to look over there because it becomes like, okay, like, all right, you're gonna stay there, okay, all right, you stay there. I'm just gonna keep watching. And like, ooh. And as you just keep seeing the games turn 80, you just keep looking back. It becomes more appealing. So it's kind of like, I think it's from a long draw, it becomes more appealing. I don't think you're gonna have people jump. But to jump on to what Proto also said, I also think Red was a good choice to attach to the Switch 2 games, even though, you know, there's going to be a mother out there that messes it up this year. We all know that there's going to be somebody. Yeah. But the red is just so distinct. Like, stop signs are red. Like, when you have a red car, like, your insurance is a little bit higher. Red
I want one in blue.
High. Well,
I want to switch in blue.
We got Wii U, and that was in, like, blue or baby blue. And guess what happened, Sir X?
No, I only saw the Wii U. It was black. It was a black console. I never saw a different color.
No, I'm talking about games, on the games.
He's talking about the cases, because the cases were
cases.
Like
okay.
The
naked eye.
Now, Perry, don't tell me if they come out with a blue Switch 2 or a color you like, you wouldn't go out and buy another one. I know you. You collect consoles, multiple consoles. Yeah, you would.
You can see through.
Here's the problem I have.
But the thing is, to rip off your point too, HAWT. It's kind of funny you say that. Like a mom's gonna mess up and buy Switch One games. The fact that the majority of them are backwards compatible, that don't even matter at this point. Even though it's using emulators, can't you still? I think you can still put the physical cartridge in.
Yeah, you can still.
And then it just does like how you do with like the Xbox One with like 360 stuff. It's all emulators. You're still using your disc to access it though.
Yep.
I deal with this a lot, and this is going to be a nightmare because I still have people coming in. Oh, when did the 2DS come out? Because there's 2DS games, but not 3D. And I'm like,
oh God,
they're so slow.
I have customers. I mean, people don't believe this, but people come in and they go, "Hey, I have a Wii. Do you have a cleaning kit for the Wii?" And I was like, "No, your laser's probably dead. When did you buy it?" "Oh, when it came out 20 years ago." "Yeah, your laser's dying, lady. You don't need a cleaner." "Oh, well, what's after the Wii?" And I was like, "There's like 2 more consoles after the Wii." "There's 2 more consoles after the Wii? I didn't hear about that."
And we was probably sitting there,
because they didn't.
And we was probably sitting in the closet collecting dust, right?
No, people actively use their Wii from 2006. Like, it's crazy.
Mine's actually still the original one.
A lot of old timers back then were, and they enjoyed the Wii because to give them a chance to move around, they put a lot of Wii in nursing homes for people. I remember that. Yeah. And I wasn't in one, you people in the chat before y'all even go there.
hey, Sir X Man, I was there this weekend at the center playing bowling with you. When I beat your ass.
Yeah, me and you gonna have a Sunday bowling.
I seen it. It was there.
Me and you bowling on Sundays. Every Sunday we bowling. And thanks to Game Pass, we could spend our money on something else. Thank you, Game Pass.
Dude. I know, dude. Every Sunday, I go to the senior center and I help out Sir X Man. I tire him out.
I told you we gonna stream bowling next week.
Stevie Mac is here as well. RWK88 is in the building. Frank is here. We see Anthony in the chat tonight. What's going on, Anthony? Good to see you. Splendiferous is here as well. Sathius is in the house. We got T-Rock up in here. We got my good buddy Chase Jones. Snow Dragon hanging out with us. Supersonic Station is in the building. What's happening, guys? Awesome chat. Pink Pickles is here. Cougar Man is in the building. We also got Harold is hanging out with us tonight. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. And the list goes on. Great crew in the chat tonight. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Anyway, back to the show. Let's soon kill this topic. I mean, there isn't a lot to say about it. Look, I'm just going to give my 2 cents worth. I think the pricing is crazy, but at the same time, you know what? What's crazier is this system is still going to sell like gangbusters. Nintendo has stated that they plan to have ample supply. This shouldn't have to come down to the hands of the scalpers at this point, according to Nintendo. That could be true this time around simply because, one, the technology is not that far. Like, it's not like a crazy tech kind of machine. A lot of this stuff pretty much borrows off of the Switch. Which should make production a little bit smoother and faster. I also think because we're like the last consoles, also at least in terms of Xbox and PlayStation, they had a lot of trouble because those launches came out right during the pandemic, so that put a lot of production lines either on hold or they were down to like partial production. We saw the conundrum that was the Series X and the Series S and the PlayStation 5 launch. There's none of that, at least at the moment. So that they have that going for them. They have a great launch on it. Nobody can deny that Nintendo's the way they launched the show was awesome. They gave people stuff that they wanted. They teased us with other stuff. They have lots of nostalgia going for them. Mario Kart's going to be another winner. Again, it's a packing game if you buy the console. They have improved in almost every way. Like right now, the only major drawback again is the price. Now with the pre-orders, did they go live tomorrow? Is that correct? Are they still going live?
No, they cancel all that.
No, yeah, no, they.
Yours, Newf. Same with yours, I think, too.
Yeah, no, everything I didn't know if that changed or not.
Yeah, they changed it.
Okay, that kind of sucks. So do we know if have they set a date then to put them? Because I mean, this system comes out was it June
5th?
Yeah, June 5th.
Like, that's not that far away. So. You know, they're going to want to have some idea of how many of these fucking things they got to produce and get off the line.
I pre-ordered one from the UK today, and
what?
Let's see what happens.
Pre-orders are. I believe they're open in the UK already.
Yeah,
it's one thing I wondered about the Switch too. I hope they have a longer. I hope they have a longer battery life.
It doesn't. 2 hours.
You got to keep praying.
Yeah. 2 hours.
Yeah. People are saying it's
when the battery lasts. When the battery is shorter than your sex life.
Ooh,
Jesus!
You're paying $500 for something that doesn't have a long battery life for the game.
Yeah, you think the battery.
You think they would have improved that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, give them another year when they make version 2, and then that has the longer battery life.
Like I was going to say that.
Oh, the PlayStation route.
Well, that and the eventual
longer battery life.
The original Switch, and then they had the Switch revised version, which had a better battery life. And what else was it? It had a couple of extra things that were a little better than the launch issue.
Because if you're supposed to be pushing out that much extra power, that means if you're staying with the same battery type, you're gonna have less battery use for the portable. That's a big mistake if that happens. Nobody thinks about the little things that people care about. I just turned it on. My food hasn't even finished cooking in the oven. What the hell?
Hey, it's like the Game Gear, right? The Game Gear
Yeah,
6 batteries and died in like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
Down to golf at your buddy, and the fucking thing is dead by the time you almost get to the end of it. So what the hell?
I had a Game Gear. Lots of batteries.
Oh.
I had 2 of them. My battery bill was enormous.
Duracell just loves people to buy portables that need batteries.
Yeah, yep. They probably made a deal.
Wow, that's messed up.
I second that motion, KY Bob. Hit that like, share it out, leave a comment after the shop. It helps up more than you know. It certainly does. And I greatly appreciate it, guys.
Right, just like lube.
I want to hit that 2K before the end of this fucking year. It ain't happening, I know, but I'd love for it.
Get it up.
I've been stuck in
there.
It ain't even half the year yet, dude. You'll get there.
You got plenty of time, Newfie.
I've been at this shit fucking 10 years now. I've been stuck at about 1,700, seems like, for fucking eternity.
You'll get there.
Get it.
Be patient.
But
we'll have to do a special like telethon episode.
Or another. It's gonna
or do an E3 the E3 showcase special. That
I'll give away a Switch fucking deal. Watch the subs come in then. That's how most people do it, right?
That's right.
It'll happen, dude.
I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying it's just kind of like what the fuck? It's just been very slow. Yeah, man, absolutely, Mike Bates, man. I feel the same way, man. I've been at this for a long time, and I watched people that fucking started up like a year and a half ago. They've already like surpassed me already. So, guess I just don't do this enough anymore. Either that, or I just haven't sold out enough to get a bigger channel. I don't know. Whatever. I don't want to be sitting here moping about it.
It's not worth your soul, man. It's not worth your soul.
Exactly. I got a life to live, man. I got shit to do in the fucking evenings. I can't sit here and do fucking 6 podcasts a week and fucking videos on top of that and streams. I just don't have that time, dude.
No, we all got lives, dude.
It'll happen.
All right. Thank God Xbox didn't have built-in batteries. Yes, Talos says. Like I said, that's one of those catch-22s, when it comes to the batteries. We've all heard the arguments for and the arguments against. I have no issue with it. I think the majority of us now probably have an Xbox, probably have the rechargeable batteries or the battery packs by this point in time, which basically have one of them.
They last about 8 to 10 hours. Batteries will last 12 hours in an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
So it's worth it. Switch it out, put another charger in. Unlike, oh dang it. Now I gotta go. Now after 4 hours, I gotta go plug in my controller because it died.
That's Stephen Mac.
I'm not saying no names. It is just unadvertised sex appeal. It's not.
That's right.
Oh no, it's definitely advertised. We're advertising it all over the place. I mean, look at us. We're all a bunch of sexy bastards.
We need to get it on. We need to get it in New York.
I'm telling you, it's telethon.
What did Prince say? You sexy motherfucker.
All right.
You know what, dude? Oh, man. Go, dude. Go.
So let's just sum it up. Between the pricing, the games, everything that we know up to this point in time, what would you give this sort of Nintendo Switch 2 launch? Starting with Perry, what would you give it out of 10? And do you plan to get one day one?
Definitely getting one day one. I actually traded in $1,300 worth of games to GameStop, so I'm ready to go.
Okay. It sounds like you're ready to roll. Indeed, absolutely.
I'm ready to go.
What would you give the entire show between the pricing, the tech, and the games?
I think the show was like a 10 out of 10. I think the pricing of the games, I give like a 1 out of 10. Like, I just think they're not in tune with their audience.
Especially with this economy.
Yeah,
right.
They're completely, they've lost it.
Let's go over to Proto. How do you feel about it, man? What would you give the whole thing overall? And are you getting one day one?
Nah, I'm gonna sit tight. I won't get one day one. I'll sit tight like I did with the first Switch. The show itself, everything they showed, I would say it was good, solid 8.5 out of 10. Pricing is a 0 out of 10 because it's just dog shit. And I'm also gonna give Doug Bowser's response to the outcry on it another 0 out of 10. It's basically a Don Matrix. Hey, if this is too much for you, we have this. It's a Switch One. It was like that echoed the whole fucking Xbox One thing. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Don't step on the rake. And then as he turns and steps on another one, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, lots of rake stepping on for sure, man. Great point. Awesome. Sir X-Man, what would you rate the show overall? And do you plan on selling your soul to get a Nintendo Switch on day one?
No, I ain't into day one, but I give it an 8.9.
Nice. That's a pretty high score. That's awesome.
So, yeah, because they offered a lot. They really offered a lot with the Switch, except for the pricing thing. But, I mean, they gave you a great handheld. Sorry, that's good. That's lower than your high-end handhelds, and you get your proprietary classics. That's been revamped. It's kind of hard to get wrong with that. It really is.
That's definitely true.
Yeah. But this is a great case, again, where exclusives are going to matter, because with every other company basically making a handheld or having a handheld option on the market right now, the handheld Nintendo Switch becomes less and less relevant. Before it was a major selling feature. Now it's just like, it's not so much of a selling feature. It really comes down to, again, the power of exclusivity. And I think Nintendo definitely knows that for sure. So that is largely going to be what I think sells the Switch, is having those games, and that's the only place to play those games.
And also, Newf, real quick, and now they can do third party too. That's a game changer. That's a game changer for the Switch. It really is.
Nice.
That's all I want to say.
KY Bob says, I should be on GameSet Live to help his exposure. Well, I keep telling KY Bob he needs to change his start time. I can't make the start time on Wednesday nights. So I got a motorcycle to ride during the summer. I can't bite off more than I'm gonna chew, man.
You guys have summer up there?
Yeah, some kind of summer. It's probably what you guys would call, like, our summer's probably your spring in the States, but yeah.
Jeez.
So you got like a month and a half of summer.
It feels like that. I mean, fuck, we just had 20 odd centimeters of snow like a week ago. It's all fucking melted again. Yeah, 20 centimeters of snow is like what? Fucking like 12 inches?
That's what she thought it was.
20
yeah, that's how we describe ourselves in Canada. When she asks how big it is, like, it's like about 15 centimeters. So, Jesus, that's
trust me. What's a centimeter? What's a centimeter? I'm in America. Please tell me what that is.
A centimeter is, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's 5 centimeters. It's like a fucking inch.
Wow.
My goodness.
What's an affordable TV that has VRR and 120? Probably something in the TCL series. Probably just do some research on them. You can get those for pretty damn good. I just bought a TCL one not too long ago, one of those QLED TVs, and the only thing it doesn't have the natural 120, but there are some models that you can get that have a lot of tech in them, and the prices are definitely more affordable than the competitors.
Good bang for your buck on the TCL.
Absolutely, yeah. Hisense is not bad either. But you can probably find the Hisense.
No, Hisense are pretty high rated too. They
sometimes
really are.
LG,
That surprised me.
C division goes on sale a lot on Best Buy. You'll see like the older models when the new ones come out. So if you like LG, check out those ones. The LG.
There you go. Mental line R, I had to leave it to him to break it on down to just 1 inch, is like 2.54 centimeters. There you go.
Thank you. Y'all better get y'all TVs before the tips kick in.
Thank you, Mental.
That's all I'm gonna say. Because once them tips kick in, you're looking at another $200 to $300 for your TV. You better get it now.
That's full-time rental.
Yeah, get your TVs now for the tariffs kick in.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, no shit.
Depends on where they're coming from, I guess. Most everything's coming from China, so they're going to get a lot more expensive.
Yeah, Hisense made in Asia somewhere, I think. Not in China.
Well, most of them are made in Asia. The question of where? Vietnam, fucking China, Korea.
Yeah, I think Hisense is Vietnam.
LG is Korean, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah.
But I got a big 75-inch LG. I love it.
Yeah, LG's and shit. I love LG stuff. It's great.
Same.
All right. Did everybody have their say on their piece on Nintendo? Final thoughts? Anybody?
Yeah.
I mean, I give the whole thing at least an 8. Like, this was a near perfect launch show for me. With the exception of, again, like I said, the pricing is a little bit like, whoa, that comes in a lot hotter than I thought. And, and again, like I said, the console is one thing, right? Because the console, it's a one-time buy, right? And most consoles are always fairly expensive at launch. It's not like most people launch and you go, like, when was the last time a console launched and you were actually shocked that it was way lower than expected? Like, that hardly ever happens. It's always where you expect it to be or it's higher, right? So, it's a one-time buy. You're probably going to have it for a long time. You're going to probably get your money's worth. But like you said, when games, I mean, that's what sells the system is games. And if those things are going to be a little bit like astronomical, that's going to cut down on the amount of games you buy, how much you invest in it. And in turn, that will play a factor on the overall sales of the console, right? So, instead of having 3 or 4 games now, you're going to be down to 1 game, or you're going to have to be more selective about what Nintendo puts out. So, let's hope that they have a lot of demos on the Switch too, and all that sort of stuff. And then again, Nintendo still has the ability to change their mind. But again, the funny thing is we know what's going to move the needle, and that's people just not buying it. But the problem is that's not going to happen, right? That's people stand up and listen. You can preach on the podcast all day long, and they just, but you guys are suckers. You'll buy it anyway. So,
it would have been awesome if they had to put out the new Switch 2, brand new, all new, with better graphics, Wii Sports for Switch 2.
I'm pretty sure they will have it. Don't worry. They will have a new version of that.
There'll be
you can pretty much count on it. That's been a staple series for them. They make a lot of money on that shit.
The new Wii Bowling with online bowling.
I think the winner here is largely going to be Xbox. If Xbox plays this right, I think they're the guys who could benefit the most, because this is a great play on Game Pass. This is a great marketing opportunity to make Game Pass look even more attractive than it was for people, as long as they don't go, oh, well, they're charging a lot more, so let's put up Game Pass by another $5 or $10. That sort of shit. If Xbox just draws the line in the sand and keeps, like I said, the value proposition, I think this is a major win for them. But if they fucking decide to go, yeah, we're just going to leech our fans too, they're going to see a lot more subscriptions just be either canceled or switch to a lower tier. That's the bottom line, right?
Yeah.
So, you know what I find funny? Everybody was complaining about a $2 price increase for Game Pass, just crying. And look what happened what Nintendo did. They ain't crying no more about that $2 increase.
No. They opened the floodgates, bro. They were the ones.
Well, again, like I said before, everybody was playing chicken, and just Nintendo blinked first.
To be honest, I guess Nintendo is basically Anakin in like episode 3. Like it was said that you would destroy the Sith, and you would destroy PlayStation, and now you're joining them, like, and then
bro, you got it wrong.
At Xbox, and it's
you
like,
got
what
it
the
wrong.
fuck's going on?
You got it wrong, Wicked. 2K is the Sith.
2K is
because
Palpatine.
they were the
watching
ones that started with the $70 games.
He's Palpatine. 2K is Palpatine in the background going,
he's Palpatine, dude. When he comes back, he's like, "You're alive, Nintendo." Something's $100 games.
And isn't it weird that movie's coming back in the theater next month?
It's
yeah.
Feel the power of the dark side.
Guess what?
This really is Nintendo's year, huh?
2K, did I do it? Did I make $80 games? Unfortunately, in your anger, you allowed us to make $100 games.
Ooh, I just thought about a perfect song. I just thought about a perfect song for 2K. You're gonna love this. Blame it on 2K. Yeah. Blame it on 2K. Why your games are so high?
I feel like
Whatever
it's more like
you do.
2K comes in with a metal chair. Money.
Yeah, 2K pulled the Milli Vanilli, dude. 2K pulled the Milli Vanilli.
Dano Mac pulled it.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where GTA 6. And I'm with Perry. I think GTA 6 comes in at probably it's going to be $90 or $100 US. I'd say.
Yeah, that's where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Well, I was doing the Palpatine
about 120 or
in the
$130 Canadian.
But you know what's sad? People will buy
People will buy it because the game is
they'll
going to be
know that game will last well over 10 years.
If there's two games you buy the rest of the year, it's probably going to be Mario Kart World and fucking that game. Like if you got those two games, you're pretty much set for the rest of the year.
I was looking for the new F-Zero they bring into the Switch.
Ooh. The GameCube. It's on the GameCube one though. Is on the service one.
But they said on the Switch too, it's gonna run 60 frames a second. I mean, like, sweet.
It's gonna be buttery smooth.
All right, let's change topics. And speaking of buttery smooth, it is finally out in the wild. A little gem that's been cooking up at Compulsion Games for some time, and now you can download it for Xbox via Game Pass, or you can buy it straight out. But either which way, I'm talking about South of Midnight. Now, I don't have much to say because I want to play it. I just haven't had time to download it yet, so I'm probably going to do that immediately following the show. But it definitely looks good. The stuff that I've seen from the game, it looks absolutely stellar. Love the art style. Love the characters. Love some of these boss interactions. But let's find out from those who have played it how you're feeling about it. Let's start with Sir X-Man because he can't wait to get back to playing it. Sir X, today I'm guessing was the first time that you tried it. What do you think of it so far?
Dude, it was unexpected. You know, I love the graphics are amazing. They get me hooked. The bosses are hard though, but I love that challenge, man. I enjoy that challenge, and I love how linear it is. I got tired of open world games, man. I got tired of it. Thank you for bringing me a nice linear game. You know, and I think that's why that game is hitting. Because I think a lot of people did like open world games, but every now and then, yeah, I know, I had to catch myself.
Open world girls.
But every now and then, a good linear game with graphics and gameplay. So many people saying it's repetitive. It's not really repetitive because you get new things and upgrades in the game. And I'm loving those new features I'm getting in the game. I still want to see if I can adjust the control on it. What the hell is that?
Bob Ross? That's a Newf looking like Bob Ross.
I'm just pulling up some of the Metacritic scores for the game. A little bit lower, actually, than I was expecting.
What is?
It wasn't lower when it first came out. It wasn't low like that when it first came out. You know they're knocking it. You know that tax is in effect right now.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God, a 50.
I can't agree or disagree with the ratings, but you know, like when it first, like a couple of days ago, it seemed to be a lot higher. Looks like so far this is just on 76 critic reviews, but I was expecting it to hit well into the 80s, and it
was in the high 80s, almost 90 in some places. That score got knocked down. You know how it happens. The game get a good. I'm gotta say a good Xbox game gets a great score when it comes out, and then when it gets to Metacritic, it gets knocked down.
I'm not gonna shit on your riff, X-Man, but when you see some bigger Xbox guys out there that have been towing the line for a while, that's saying that even and again, I'm not siding with any of the critics or anything like that, but when you got guys that toe the Xbox line that are saying that the combat isn't as fun as it could be, and that affected their score. I'm not going to chalk this one up to Xbox tax. I think
I enjoy the challenge though, man.
Well, no, and that's fun.
The challenge is hard, but I love it.
And that's where a lot of these reviews are taking it, where it's like, oh, it's just too hard. It's like, get good.
Did they really say that it's too hard?
I would imagine so. Once I hear people slamming certain things on it, I just don't. I mean, I usually don't care about reviews anyway. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, but, okay. I listen to what my friends say.
Yeah, but when you got guys out there, bitching about combat and certain gameplay loops and shit like that, and talking about difficulty, it's like, okay, it's you just want your easy mode, and that's that.
Mm-hmm. But I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's like a challenge, but especially I'm enjoying the story. Got to find the mother. Got to find her mother. I don't care if you weren't going to play it. If you didn't play it, you weren't going to play it anyway. So there you go. But the game is good. I like it.
So
parts of it reminds me of like
graphically, the game has a really cool art style, and it looks really nice.
Oh, it had a good flow to it.
Stood out for you. That pulled you in immediately.
Some of it was a story, but a lot of it was the mechanics. I'm enjoying the mechanics because you have to be precise in a lot of things, but it gives you that ability to hack and slash. Like the more powers I get, the more control I feel against the enemy. The more I upgrade the weapons I get, the easier it gets. But the game seems like it adjusts to you next time you get a new power, so you can use that more. Once you start using that new power more in the game, it's like, all right, they've learned it. So it's like a learning thing every new level, every new creature you face. Like the jumping mechanics, some of them levels, I'm like, okay, how the heck am I going to get through this? Oh, yeah. Oh, I can push now. That's right. And I can pull stuff and I can break through like that door. A door I couldn't get through before. So, it's really good. It's really good. It's really good. I'm going to say this. I will give it an 8-7. Doesn't mean because, I'm not going to ever put that above a Tomb Raider game. That's just me. But I can let everybody else go now. But it's a good game, man. And I got it in Game Pass. I had to pay for it, so I'm working well.
Oh, you paid for it. It's in your subscription, but
I got so many games for the Game Cast. Come on, Game Pass. Come on.
I don't look, man. Nobody here, unless you're absolutely dumber than a rock, you can't argue with the value of Game Pass. You never will. Like it's just an incredible service.
Yeah, it is.
Especially if you love to play lots of games, you love variety, you dabble with a lot of stuff. You don't have to overcommit to something. It's great.
Sure, it's like I know you've been through this, Newf. Where hey, let me go down and see what they got. It's interesting. That looks interesting. I'm gonna give that game a try.
Well, yeah. Well, I was like that with Avowed. I wasn't 100% sure about Avowed until I played.
Oh, you got stuck on Avowed, dude. I'm like, Jesus, that's our new plan is Avowed.
Great game.
Yeah, I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I would. So I would actually go out and buy a copy of that game, and I suspect I will do the same with South of Midnight. This game looks like the kind of games that I generally like. It's got a little bit of that vibe from.
It's got that old school vibe.
Yeah, a little old school. It's got like a Kenna Bridge of Spirits kind of thing going on to a certain degree. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So that's as much as I can say. I'm excited to play it. I'll probably try it later on tonight, if not tomorrow. Who wants to jump in next? Who else has played it here?
Wicked.
I played it.
Do it up, Perry. You
look at you, Perry.
Hey, go ahead, Perry.
I like the game a lot. I didn't think I was going to. I put about 3 hours in, and I couldn't put it down, but I had to actually do stuff, so I had to.
I know, right?
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah, you weren't even going to do a show tonight because you were going to play it all night.
Yeah, I was thinking that was hooked on it, my friend. I was hooked.
Yeah. So, Perry, what what does this game remind you of? Anything? Does it draw any similarities to anything you played the last while?
Well, yeah, it's it plays kind of like a hack and slash, but it's got a story to it, and the music is incredible. Like you wouldn't even think this music would be in a game, but it adds to it. It makes the game different.
Right.
Are you
playing it with the standard animation, or are you playing it with that sort of style turned off?
I think I turned it off. I'm playing it on PC, so I got like all that stuff going, 60 FPS and all that. But,
right, because that stop motion animation, like I'm sure for the average person, it's probably going to be jarring, like unless you know that's exactly what they were going for.
I was going to give this game a 10, but the dodging mechanic is a piece of crap. So I knocked it down to a 9.5.
You didn't get the upgrade for the dodge yet. Yeah,
probably. Yeah, because they're telling you to dodge. I hit the button, I still get hit, even though I'm dodging. So I don't know.
That's the only hiccup. Yep.
But I like the game. Nice.
The character draws you in. Like I heard, they did a great job. They did a lot of great research on the bayou and the down south kind of thing. So
right.
Lots of, what is it, like Southern mythology in it kind of deal?
Well, what I like is the character is always engaging, even though you're playing the game, but the character's always like talking or always getting stuff going on. Like you can follow the story. Like Sir X-Man said, it's more of a linear game.
Yeah, that's good.
And I like that.
Has anybody obviously you haven't beaten the game, but has anybody estimated what the actual runtime is on this? I mean, the price wise, it's actually pretty cheap to buy the physical copy of it, or should I say the physical, but the digital copy. Even up here in Canada, I was actually shocked. Like it's almost like a half price game, basically.
They say it's like roughly. I'd probably say anywhere from like 10 to 15. I'm not just from what people have said. They're in that range, anywhere from 10 to 15 hours, depending on if you're a little bit just A to B, or honestly, you can it is linear, but you can branch off to an extent. It's not very far, but if you have your headset on, guys, and you're playing it, you're going to hear a certain tone when you're near something. And these things are like they're like orbs, and they're going to pop up, and they end up, when you get them, they end up becoming things you use to upgrade or
there's your level up.
Level up your abilities and stuff like that. Because the game, dude, it's a dope game. It's an absolutely dope game.
But am I the only loser in this panel who hasn't played it yet?
No, I haven't gotten around to it yet either.
Okay, at least I'm not the only vote. What about yourself, HAWT? Where would you put this game, man, from what you played it with so far?
Oh man, you know what? Kind of like Perry. I was a little high on it at first, and then I had some other games to play, so I'm like, you know what? Maybe I won't play it right now. I hop into it. The first chapter, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this game yet. I'm like, Chapter 2, I'm like, okay, I think I'm starting to get the gist. Chapter 3 is where
that's where the hook is. Chapter 3.
Like 1, I was wondering if I even made a mistake playing it, like downloading it, and I should be playing my Assassin's Creed. Number 2, I was like, okay, you got my attention. And Chapter 3 is right where the hooks just sunk right in my back. The vibe, the song, the gameplay. It from that moment on, you see the true vision of the game, and everything just opens up from there on. The hack and slash is dope, minus the dodging. That's the only hiccup I have. The fucking world looks amazing inside. There are times when I'm just panning on the fucking right analog from left to right, just seeing what glimmers, the way it looks, the sun off the water. I do have the animation on. But what I notice is from my eyes is it's just her. Just her is the hitch animation where she's like, has that little stutter animation. The world seems to be running fluid. It's very smooth. Trying to think of anything else in the game.
You know what got me wicked? I think you're there yet. Where you open up the little glide. That's when it
that helps. So,
the character? What is she like? Got a wand, or is it magic? Like what kind of like weaponry or stuff?
Like,
you get the weapons.
The way it looks, it's like some slide on. Like I don't even know. Like you can see it covering her arms a little bit, but it almost looks like her skin color. I'm not really sure if it's like some
Newf,
weird.
when you play the game, after the first 20 minutes, you'll kind of get where this is all going, like the story.
It's very much like Kena Bridge of Spirits. You're cleansing in a sense, but the story's great, and I honestly can't get over how good the music is, dude. Like from chapter 3 on, I just fought the alligator, and that song was dope. I almost wanted to look it up on YouTube. Not playing it.
I just got one thing to say. Grandma's a bitch.
Yeah, we got the same podcast animation.
But the game runs smooth, dude. You hit where you hit,
dude, I love
and I like that.
I was just playing it.
Always
considered a AA or AAA game. I would have to say you'd probably had put this under a AA game. I don't think it has
AA and a half. I give it AA and a half.
You know what's funny?
I think it's borderline, right?
Yeah, it's borderline.
I think it's a AA, but I think it's good bones to work off of. I think
it's like the RoboCop game, right? The RoboCop game is a AA, but it has that AAA level production almost to it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it's got good bones too. You know what I mean? You can build off of it. Yeah. This game could be great. Say if it does okay and they want to get that sequel, I wouldn't even care if it went multi-plat, just to sell more copies and just give it in Game Pass and just sell the copies elsewhere. I think that they have something here with Hazel. She's relatable, just the whole South and whatnot. I like it a lot. I think they can build up.
Would you agree that the story is AAA though? The story is AAA.
Oh yeah,
I give the story.
And like
AAA.
Perry said, she's interacting with you. You're reading notes. She's interacting with the note when you click on it, and then you read it, and then you know what I mean. She's like, "Oh wow, that's weird."
Yeah,
you got that little guy too.
That has sex with the big frog.
What'd you say, Perry?
She has that little guy that she can make. She just kicks him over the island and everything.
Crouton. Dude, I didn't even know who Crouton was until today.
Yeah, Crouton.
Yeah, Crouton. We're not talking salads, boys.
Awesome.
I like. You know what? Because you got little animals running around and stuff like that. And sometimes I want to catch one of them and just slice them up. All the little rabbits and whatever it is running around, and then when she slaps herself, and she tries to slap the mosquitoes off of her all the damn time and shit. Gets here to buy you, man.
She's interactive too.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. Well, I can't wait to play it. I'll get to try it out. Are there any other? Obviously, sounds like basically you don't necessarily agree with the lower scores. That you think this game should be scoring higher.
Yeah, it should be higher than that.
I feel like it's an 8, to be honest. Like in my opinion, I know Sarah Man kind of differs from it, but I feel like the combat is good, but people are like, oh, the combat's kind of lackluster. And it is to a point, but in my opinion, it's not the focus point of the game. It's just a minor aspect of the game. The combat is good, but what the main focus of the game is the story, the experiences, and how you can relate to them. And yeah, it's just I don't even know. And the music. Can't forget the music.
Yeah, that music. And the sounds that you hear around you when you're going, like when you get lost, you don't even have to use the strings sometimes. If you do it right, where you don't have to figure out where to go.
Yeah, you go
because you can kind of hear it, the direction, like especially if the wind's blowing and stuff like that, you can hear that.
Yeah, you hear like a little twinkle in the air. You're like, what is that? Next thing you're like, oh, upgrade. It's just like Avowed. When you hear that little thing, Newf, like when you're playing Avowed and you see the chest, it's just like that if you got the headset on in South of Midnight.
Nice.
So be aware, look around.
All right, well, it sounds like it's a good game. If you haven't downloaded it yet and you do have Game Pass, you should at least go try it out and give it a whirl. I'm sure Microsoft appreciates that people will try this game out and hopefully run it right to the end and perhaps even pick up a copy of it down the stretch. So,
because Carlo said he's already in chapter 3.
Nice.
I'm in 6.
I do want to swing back around to the Switch for 1 second because there was one game that was shown off for the Switch that got a lot of hype and stirred a lot of pots for people. Maybe clicked off a couple of boxes. And I'm talking about a Switch exclusive, and this one comes from Software. You probably know what I'm talking about, and that is Dusk Bloods. What did you guys think about that? Are you excited? I mean, it definitely has that Bloodborne vibe. It definitely got a lot of people excited. There's some people also complaining, that this is a Nintendo exclusive. And it's also, like I said, it's from Software. We know that Sony owns a percentage of that actual developer. And here they are getting their own Switch exclusive. So how did you guys feel about when that thing was shown off at the end of the show?
People crying about a game being exclusive. What a shock.
I got nothing much to say on this, to be honest, because I'm not into the Elden Ring games and don't matter to me. So everyone else go off.
Yeah. I see From Software and I'm like, yeah, it's already a no for me. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm with you, Newf. I'm kind of the same way.
Nah, not interested.
I need From Software to have like From Software, and they go, we're making a game that everybody can play and enjoy. And then I'll be like, yeah.
Yay!
I got Elden Ring at 60 FPS. I'm good.
That's right, baby.
Gotcha.
I'm still mad at the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 just being on the Switch. So
I know, right?
I had my moment.
That's whack on them.
Yes. Right. Perry, any thoughts? Are you a big Bloodborne guy?
Not really.
For you?
No, this is probably something I'm not going to get. It looks like it runs at 30, so it's like, I got Elden Ring if I really want to play something like that. And I like Elden Ring. What do you think of the
setting? It's kind of like the Gothic vampire setting. Definitely has that Bloodborne vibe.
Yeah.
Graphically, it didn't look too bad.
Yeah. I can't play those games at 30 because there's a lot of dodging and stuff, and I don't know. It just doesn't feel right at 30 FPS. It's like fighting games. They're not going to play a fighter at 30. They all got to be
never,
60,
never.
Sounds like ProtoFoxy might have a bone around for this one.
I mean, I'm not a FromSoft guy. I mean, I still got buddies of mine trying to get me to play Elden Ring, and I haven't gotten around to it yet. Eventually, I will. But I mean, if I come across, if it seems like it's cool, I mean, I saw it, I'm like, okay, I've seen that before, and I don't play games to rip my hair out anymore. I'm too old for that shit.
Facts.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same thing. Although I went back and I've been playing that Ninja Gaiden 2. What do you call it? The Black
Edition.
Black.
Yeah.
I went back into that. I mean, that's relatively hard. But I enjoy that. I enjoy the Ninja Gaiden one for some reason. It's just, I think it's because of the way the combat is, the characters, and the fact that there isn't a fucking stamina meter. Because every one of these Elden Ring-ish kind of games, these From Software games that I play, that's the one thing that absolutely ruins my fun is that every fucking weapon's got like, you swing it twice and your dude's like, I can't fucking move anymore. Right? And everything's about timing. It's about fucking making a perfect block and a perfect roll. And the bosses always seem like they can reach like halfway across the fucking map, but you got to be up in their fucking asshole to hit them. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I don't know. Just like you said, I'm back in the day, sure, but I'm too old for fucking swearing at games for an hour and a half. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do that shit already on normal games. I could imagine my wife watching me have another fucking grabber as I'm fucking trying to play something like that. It's like, you gonna kick off your pacemaker? No, I'm fine. And then it's funny because you do mention Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that, and like the older Shinobi on PS2 and stuff like that. Those games were super hard, but yeah, like it didn't have all of that, like, like you said, like weapon stamina shit and all that, weapons breakage and stamina and shit like that. It's like, if you're going to do a game like that, where it's just going to be that like difficult, give us some kind of edge. I mean, I know Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You got a stamina meter when you're giving it to your old lady. The difference is if you fucking cop out early, you don't have to fucking go all the way downstairs and run 5 blocks down the street and kick a bunch of garbage cans and come back and do it all over again. You know, those fucking games. It's like, if you fuck up, it's like back to the checkpoint for you. Another 300 enemies before you get back to the boss.
Hey, they got pills for that, Newf.
Well, they need a pill,
but they aren't in Elden Ring. You can't pop those pills in Elden Ring and get back on the horse.
Just steal one of Mario's power pellets. That's all.
Oh God!
Sir X maybe popping blue chews out there, and he'd be like, Popeye, pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, that's why Sir X-Men had to replace the ceiling tiles. You know, he keeps popping those fucking pills. That's where the name Stucco came from.
I challenge you on May 16th, Newf.
What are we having a dick measure?
Bringing the blue chews.
Oh my God. Sword fight.
Power stones, brother. Power stones.
Meet me at the fucking border. We're doing it. Sword fight.
Oh God.
And Wicked said he's never heard of Power Stones.
Wow.
Power Stones.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Boo this man.
Boo me. All right, boys. What's up?
What's going on? The V. I don't recall this guy in the chat before. But what's going on? The V. Does the V mean stand for virgin or vagina? I don't know. What does it mean?
Virginity is cool.
Visitors. They're coming to Earth to take us over.
Yeah, it's the visitors. Maybe it's Virginia. I don't know.
Cool. Virginity is cool. Come on.
Nerd.
Virginity is cool. We're the priest.
Come on.
Nerd. With the collar on next week.
There you go. What's going on, Victor? Awesome, guys. Well, I think we're pretty much at the end of the topics already tonight. So unless you guys have anything you want to bring up before the end of the show, I will announce this right now before we bring in our cast of characters to answer some questions. I want to do a game day this Sunday if you guys are interested. And again, 2:00, which would be 4 Eastern. I want to do Halo again.
Ooh,
now,
Master Chief Collection. Let's do it again. It was so much fun the last time. I can't wait to jump on to it again.
Let's do it.
We'll do a Master Chief Collection and maybe some Mario Kart afterwards.
Hey, Wicked, you know we're going to
I could probably make the Mario Kart.
We're going to have to do it after bowling. You know that, right? We're going to have to join Newf after bowling, right?
After bowling. All right.
This is going to be a Sunday
Kidney stones. I know what those are.
If bowling ever ends up in Game Pass, perhaps we'll all do the bowling. But
it's actually a good deal, believe it or not.
Yo, we look at Sir Rex, man. He's trying to get out of our one-on-one because he knows what's going to happen.
No, let's take community game night for bowling. Yeah,
I'm gonna take him down. I'm gonna take him down to the Paradise City where the grass is green and the Sir Rex man's pretty.
No, I ain't gonna say that.
You gotta give me the name of the game because the only one I saw on Xbox was like $60. It was like a bundle full of.
That's the 23.
Let me fix the lyrics for you, Wicked Hot. Take me down to the Paradise City where Cervex is clean and her ass is pretty.
And then she sings.
Sir Rex man's bowling at home.
And then she sings "Wrong Hole."
Oh man. No, there's another one for like 20-something, Perry. It's like a bundled pack. You click
Perry,
on it and look at all the versions.
Get me the name and I'll get it.
Get the two.
The Rex man's got to send it. He knows how to use
I
it.
told you that if your dick is less than 3 inches to let you fuck your
I'll put it
belly.
in the DM for you.
Yeah, put it in the DM.
Take it or leave it, pal.
You're welcome.
I gotta leave it, man. If your dick is less than 3 inches,
That's it. Here, don't raise your tone with me, Mr. Little Pinky Dick.
It's centimeters.
Well, at least I know that ain't me.
I would hope for the sake of us all on this fucking panel, nobody's rocking one 3 inches. Jesus.
Ew.
Jesus.
Vienna sausages are bigger than that in the can.
Oh God, you gonna make me do that? You gonna make me do that sausage in the blanket thing again? Ain't
Oh man,
sausages in a blanket.
The color of the pig in a blanket. Tic Tac size. Well, I guarantee if it's Tic Tac, so it ain't making anyone's breath fresher, that's for sure.
Why did it take them forever to put Borderlands 3 in Game Pass?
I have no idea. Well, because you know what? You know why it's going in Game Pass now? Because they're trying to get people excited to play Borderlands 3 because number 4 comes out this fall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, that's coming too. Yeah, because that was also announced on the Switch 2 thing. Your Borderlands 4 is like coming at the same time, isn't it, as the regular versions?
Oh yeah, Borderlands 4 is a day one for me.
And Dreadpool 3
Borderlands on the Switch.
That is one mushroom head if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. No shafts, just the head. No shaft, just the head.
Looks like a baby's arm with a giant apple attached to it. What the hell?
Gives new meaning to just the tip.
Wow.
I've never seen a giant candy apple at the fair. Well, that's what my dog looks like.
I have nothing to say about this.
He is.
We've left X-Man speechless.
He's just baffled.
Well, as long as my wife's vagina doesn't look like an elephant ear.
Sweet mother.
Neat grapes just flapping in the breeze.
Well, you do live in Canada. It's kind of hard to hold a stiffy when it's that cold.
Yeah, it's shrinking weather up there, dude.
I saw that dude.
You got him. You got him.
He's dead. We killed the host. We killed the host.
Yeah, to cut the cam.
Oh my god, dude. He's not gonna turn this camera back on because Handy Andy's beating him off. No, we turned it back on.
Newf was laughing his ass off in the background.
Dude,
that's
like
why he turned the camera off.
Look at those tears. Those are deep throat tears.
Oh.
He was like, I gotta kick Sir X-Man off this show. It's ridiculous. That's what he's thinking, damn it.
God. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny. Anyway, we're going to end the show. Now it's the time. If you have a question for one of our established guests, which is Arnold, Cletus, or Safe House, they are in the background and ready to take your question. Go for it, anybody.
Hey, Cletus, are you ready for your new Swiss to warm your cockles?
God.
Cletus here, and let me tell you, I'm excited to get the Switch too, but let me tell you, I'm going to have to dump out my life savings to buy one of them suckers right there. And I can't wait to get me a Nintendo Switch and that Mario Kart. That Mario Kart game it's a real fun looking game, man. And there you can drive all over Tarnation. I'm excited about it. But like I said, I'm going to have to do myself an OnlyFans because I'm going to need a lot of money to keep up with what Nintendo is throwing down here now. I don't know how many of you guys out there like a hillbilly with 3 teeth, 2 brain cells, and a fucking and a pinky dick, as the wicked HAWT said. But could be a market for everything. Sometimes there's market for 600-pound women. There's market for that. So I mean, it could be a market for me too. There's always a lady out there that's willing to watch my videos. And I can make them pretty quick. And I won't take too much of your time. But yeah, I'm going to get me one of them Nintendos. There's a real good fucking console. I can't wait to play that, man. They can take it anywhere. I can take it in the bedroom. But trust me, you don't want to use it when I'm done with it because I'm going to have particles all over the joysticks.
Wow. Kentucky Fried Nintendo Tutors.
I got a question for Cletus. I got one for Cletus.
A Nintendo, yeah. You got to get yourself a Nintendo.
You got to get a Nintendo. Yo, I got one for Cletus right here. Cletus.
Go.
I heard you've been playing South of Midnight, but it's a different South of Midnight. You've been going south on your sister at midnight. How's it been?
Wow.
Well, first of all, How the fuck did you know about that? That shit was top secret. Now, do you got some kind of, you got one of them there, them bonies or brony drone thingies that flies around in the fucking sky or something? You spying on me this run? I mean, I call the cops, but they don't come near my house. I've called 911 100 times and they don't show up. Don't matter what's going on. I could be dying. They ain't showing up in my house. They know it's better than that. But let me tell you something. Yeah. What the fuck is that question again?
Well, hi-ho, fiddly-diddly there, Cletus. We all heard that you were playing South of Midnight. We didn't know that you were really going down south on your sister at midnight when everyone's sleeping.
I call it south of her clit night. That's what I call it.
Yeah, we were drinking like a pig because you were eating so much. And then they turned the lights on. It was your face.
Let me tell you, I'll be picking and flicking. That's what I've had when I get down there. She haven't trimmed that fucking hedgehog in a long time. That shit's growing a little bit out of control around there. Let me tell you. So can some of you guys send me one of them manscaped brushes or whatever the fuck you call from there for Christmas? I could probably use one of them and a gigantic fucking life-size tub of shaving cream.
Man, for him, he said, south of midnight, he was thinking the freeze come out at night. That's what he was thinking.
We got a super chat courtesy of our good friend Splendiferous. He drops $2. Take it away, Barry.
Are you wearing transparent clothes on your OnlyFans, Cletus?
Oh, wow.
I will wear whatever you want. If you're paying, I am playing. Let me tell you, I can take it all off. I can wear a fucking transparent garbage bag and it'll get you hot and horny. Let me tell you this. Yes, sir. You love what you're seeing. If I was wearing my Nicki Minaj side clothes, I used to call her Nicki Minaj. She'd come over to my house and she'd rub the giblets at my head. She knows how to find a turkey gizzard in a fucking blowstorm. That's what I'm telling you.
We got Splendiferous. It looks like he's about to puke.
Cletus be whale tailing while he's working at the barn. Fucking thongs just hanging out when he bends over.
All right, we got any more questions?
I got a question for Arnold.
Okay.
A question the internet's been asking for over 20 years. Arnold, how big is Batista's dick?
Oh, God.
Wow.
But look, have you seen Batista lately? He went from being all manly to I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I swear to God, what he's doing right now, he is in the middle of transitioning, right? That's what he is doing. It's not even going to be Batista anymore. He wants to still play Marcus Phoenix in Gears of War, but the guy looks like there's a giant bowling ball and a pencil. He's shrunken. He doesn't even look like the same guy that used to be in the wrestling. I don't know what he's all fucking tattooed. He looks like a fucking troll off of the Lord of the Rings or something. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't even want to look at his dick because it's probably very small. I'm sure it's shrunk up from all of the fucking steroids he's been doing all these years. And now he's shrunken all over the place. He's starting to look, he almost looks like the reverse of those guys in Beetlejuice, you know, the guys with the big body and the little head. He's the reverse. You get the big head and the little body.
Wow.
Another one from Anthony. Arnold,
yeah, we got one here. Anthony drops a question in the chat.
Arnold, would you kick the shit out of Jason Statham?
I wouldn't kick the shit out of him because honestly, you know what the problem is? I would die laughing because every time he was going to come and talk to me, it would sound like this. It would be like, I'm going to bite you, you fucking dirty asshole. I would be just dying laughing when he's sitting there talking to me because he sounds like such a shithead. Honestly, his beard is probably going to give me a big old prick because the guy, he's got a 5-day shadow like fucking 10 seconds of the shapes, you know? He acts all tough, but he's not a tough guy at all. I would die laughing. But anyway, we've got the more questions in the chat.
We got a couple more questions, actually.
We do.
We got a super chat. We got okay. I don't know if you want to switch guys yet or what, but we'll do this one
We'll do
first.
Stevie Mac first before we get to RWK.
Okay. Safe House, what did you think of Doug Bowser's recent comments on the Switch 2 pricing? And we also have one from Dreadpool that I'm going to pull up in a minute. So go ahead.
Yeah, man. First of all, let me get that out of the way. All right, first of all, Doug Bowser.
No.
The first fucking thing that's wrong with the guy is his name is Doug fucking Bowser, right? And he fucking runs Nintendo, let me tell you. So he's got to price that shit out of existence because, I mean, after all, he's the guy that wants to steal Mario's coins and, you know, all that shit. And he's trying to steal from you guys. You know, the fucking Nintendo fans, man. They're going to buy all that shit all the fucking time. They don't fucking say no to nothing. You know what I'm saying? These are the kind that, you know, fucking Nintendo can fucking sell ice cubes to a fucking Eskimo, you know what I mean? Those fucking Arctic, these guys. Seriously, like, fuck, man. Honest to God, I think the pricing is out of whack. He fucking out of whack. And I ain't touching the fucking Nintendo unless they got fucking porn on that fucking thing. I ain't fucking touch it. The last Nintendo Switch had a really cool fucking screen, and all you can do is watch fucking YouTube on the cocksucker. Look, you cockasses. Who the fuck made that fucking shit? You're gonna make a cool ass portable, and you got fucking shitty ass games that barely run, and then you fucking got YouTube. That's all you got with the fuck, man.
All right, we got one by Dreadpool, you said?
You got one from Dreadpool. Cletus, what's your favorite position for Goatly fans? Oh, man.
Wow.
Ooh, damn.
Let me tell you this. The favorite position for Goatly fans is you always got to take them from the back side. That's the way to do it. If you can't see their face, it don't matter what the race. Put them over, baby. Let's go.
Arnold, are you giving the maid money to buy the Switch 2?
Of course I will. And then I will steal it from her and beat her to death with it. I want the Switch 2. She's not going to get one. She's got to be giving me head when I'm playing it. All right, we got one here. Oh, that was the super chat. Okay, $1.99. Thanks for that, man.
Yeah, that was the super chat. I got one more. Arnold, why did you call John Lovitz a pickle dick when you got in a fight with him?
Who? Call who?
John Lovitz.
Oh, John Lovett. Who the fuck is John Lovett?
Critic.
You don't know who John Lovett is? A comedian.
John Lovett is the guy. He is a pickle dick. Everything about that guy oozes a fucking pickle. That guy is like fucking sour graping, fucking dirty ass, fucking vinegar pickle dick. You know? Of course, John Lovitz. He's got that crazy voice. It sounds like he was kicked in the nuts and the time he came out of the vagina. You know what I'm saying? He's a weirdo. I know. I would kick the shit out of him. But I'll stay away from his fucking pickly dickly.
He was in that movie called High School High, and they called him that.
Yeah, I got one good one from Arnold. Hey, Arnold, if you were stuck on a small desert island and you had a choice of women to pork, which would you choose? Rosie O'Donnell or Roxanne?
Oh, fucking Christ.
Roseanne. I mean, yeah.
I'd rather kick both of them off the side of the island and stick my dick in the fucking tree stump that's coming up. It would be more pleasurable. Or at least the thing what I'd do is I'd find myself a crab and fucking put the fucking conker shells over my ears so I don't have to listen to the crap. I mean, Rosie, well, first of all, she's seen more fucking pussy flaps than fucking the flaps on the airplanes. You know what I'm saying? And then you got, of course, Roseanne who can shut the fuck up. I mean, that woman can give you an orgasm. Pickle dick. Just by talking to you because you keep me vibrating for hours.
Pickle dick for Roseanne. Pickle dick for Roseanne. Okay. Pickle dick for Roseanne.
Wasn't that called Tom Arnold?
Whoa!
Oh, man.
Alrighty. We'll take one from Cougar Man since he hasn't done a question in a while.
Hey, Arnold, how much times do you bang the same MILF before you get rid of her and replace her with a new MILF?
The MILFs in my life are like underwear. They go in and out every day. I don't do the same one twice. It's not good. First of all, it increases your chance of getting an STD. And second of all, who the fuck, I mean, when you're rich like I am, you can have practically any woman in the world. Why the fuck do you want to tap the same old hole? If you watch a horse getting water, they don't even go to the same old hole. You know? So why would I want to do it? No, I want to have a fresh lady all the time. As long as she showers and smells like flowers, I'm ready to go. But if she's quite the dish and smells like fish, I'm not fucking tasting it.
Oh my dear God.
Wow.
All right, that's it for tonight, guys. You're awesome. Ron Hale, what's happening? JD, guys, Anthony, Fazad, the list goes on. What a crowd. Dreadpool is in the building, guys. Great to see everybody here tonight. What a great turnout once again. We hope you guys, again, had a good laugh at the April Fool's show last week. And, like I said, it's a one-and-done kind of thing. But the good news of it all is GAD is here to stay. This panel is here to stay. The only way any of these guys are leaving is if they come to me and say, Newf, I can't be on the show anymore because I've got commitments. If that happens, it happens. But we are a group. This is the panel. I love these guys dearly. They're awesome. They're considered them family. And it's going to stay over. We're having a great time talking games with all of you guys and gals. So thanks so much for the support. We're going to get out of here. Obviously, their links to their channels, their social media, and everything else is in the chat description on YouTube. But real quick, let people get out of here. Let's start with Sir X-Man. Let people know where they can catch up with you. Obviously, you're being playing some South of Midnight.
Yeah, South of Midnight. Fridays on Wasted with Wise at 5 o'clock. On the Dragons Den with 108 Dragons on Saturday at 5 o'clock. All this is Central Time, everybody, okay? And back here next week with these Nintendo freaks hanging out and kicking it and having fun. And
Nice.
bowling with this guy on Sunday.
That's right, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hot. Let people know where they can catch up with you, man.
Y'all know where to find me. Same old spot every freaking Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's Gaming After Dark, baby. But if you want to catch the smoke in the lanes, y'all can hit either me or X-Man up, and we can bowl. But don't get mad when we whoop that ass, cowboy style. Damn.
I'm not going there.
Yeah, that's right.
There.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you got the mock. Yeah.
You know Texas. You know the room on Texas. There's a quiz. I ain't going there.
Oh, just wait. Just wait.
You
Sir
ain't
X-Man.
got horns.
ProtoFoxy.
You can find me on the usual places, and as always, every Tuesday night here on Gaming After Dark.
Indeed, guys. Like I said, give all these guys a follow, at least on social media, if nothing else, so you can keep up with all their shenanigans or shows and things that they got going on. And last but not least, the Let's rewind it. The GameComplainers, aka Perry.
That was a good rewind.
You can find me every Wednesday night between 9:30 and 10 p.m. Eastern on the Gamecomplainers YouTube channel with myself, Frank, Anthony, and Fred. And we are now shifting gears from Xbox rants to Nintendo rants. So if you want to see a big Nintendo rant, tune in tomorrow night.
There you go. You heard it right there. And don't forget, guys, this weekend, if you're interested, I'm going to try for another community game day on Sunday with Halo, the Master Chief Collection. So get that shit downloaded in advance. I hate it when people show up and they go, oh, fuck yeah, I forgot to download and do my updates. So there you go. You got lots of advance notice. 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Mountain Time on Sunday afternoon. And after that, hopefully we'll catch up with some Mario Kart. Or maybe we'll do it in reverse order because I'd like to get as many people in as possible. But I'll figure it out. You let me know, and we'll talk to you all again next week. You know where to find me, always in the gutter. But until then, hanging out with these fine cast of characters and all the amazing people in the chat. You are fantastic. We love you so much. We'll catch you again next Tuesday. But until then, take care, and most importantly, game on.
Peace.